Let's see what this guy looks like. He's got some checking on there. That's ambrosia maple. Kind of wonky. We'll get him true. We got 730. It's kind of rough. Hey, what's up, friends? Ray with Docket Timberworks. Here we go, roughing down some maple blanks. I forgot to sharpen. All right, and so this is that 50-degree fingernail using an 1.1/3 or 1.75" protrusion and 23-degree angle. It looks like I might need to clean up that heel some, but I'm kind of just roughing stuff out right now, so it seems to be working all right. Okay, and so I'm roughing stuff out because it seems like some of the quarter sawn bowls that I've been turning lately are getting a little bit more checking than I would like in them. So instead of just turning them once, I'm going to rough out some bowls to have a little bit better product later on. But they're already starting to go kind of nasty and checking on the ground laying there, so I need to do something with them. The lade's struggling there a little bit, but I think it's my presentation. It's kind of, you know, bouncing back and forth between different grinds, and I haven't settled on anything. So it's always kind of weird when you go to present the tool, kind of, you don't have it at the proper angle every time. That's why a lot of people say they use the grinding jigs and other various stuff so that you have a repeatability and a simple muscle memory. You don't need to teach yourself every time you pick up your tool and start turning. While we're out here, might as well. It don't like that extension. So, we'll clean up the bottom instead. How about that? So recently I've seen a couple of turners, they'll kind of cut into the bottom and they'll kind of make a step or a terrace and will then round it out, and they say that's easier cutting on the tool and you have to sharpen less frequently and it's kind of less resistant, easier on the body. So I go back and forth trying that out every now and then. Yeah, that ain't worth it. Had the tool rest a little bit close. You can really hear my tailstock rattling back there. I don't have it tightened down, and when it's loose like that and I have any vibration in my lathe, man, it really rock and rolls back there. Feel like we're maybe a little bit high. Okay. But man, once you get everything dialed in and you get comfortable and settled in, there ain't nothing like turning green wood, man, and just letting the ribbons fly and just taking out the trash. This is fun turning right here. Tell you what, though,
this is where I really find enjoyment. I'm not worried about finish. I'm not worried about shape or form. I'm just taking as much material off as I can and just having fun. You know, just having a blast with it. Just
instead of on me.
Easy, no thought, just kind of just going with it and letting the wood do what it's going to do and the tool do what it's going to do, and just hog material. A little bit left, which unfortunately means it's probably going to do it again. What I was talking about right there is a lot of times my wood will honeycomb. It will check once, it'll check again, and keep going. I think I should probably reverse it. I don't know, man. Can't see with this face shield on. I really don't know what made me decide to make a 4-inch jaws for this bowl. It's going to make it kind of short and squatty. And then I'm also tossing around the idea of trying to add beads or decorations to my bowl, because I haven't really done that yet. So that's why the rim is kind of stocky up there. Round that off. I'll try something different. I'll leave this up there for a bead. Haven't done that yet. See, I probably should have gone to the smaller jaws, because this thing looks kind of squat and fat. Kind of like me. This one, I don't know if it's savable. It's got a pith running through here. But that checks, so if we put that on the bottom, hopefully most of that will get drilled in it. I don't know how long the hole is or how long it's had the hole, but it works. So I was talking about the woodworm screw. I had drilled the hole and chucked it, and it's been on the ground for a couple of weeks, and I didn't know if it would thread on properly or not, but it did. It's right there about 700. It's wanting to vibrate a little bit, so we'll just shoot some of this off. I normally like to rough around 900, 1,000, but if it's a real, you know, that's a square. So that's pretty high expectations until you knock some of the corners off. And we get a little more. 900. See that little bump and speed, 200 RPMs, put you in a whole better place. Go 1,030. Work on this bottom a little bit. We still got quite a bit of corner going on. I want to get some of this bottom worked out. And then I wanted to do the bottom, but at the same time, I don't, you know, see an opportunity to round the corner off also while I have a motion and a push going. I didn't see a need to just skate across the bottom and then come back and do squares, you know, hit the diagonal line. Take off as much as you can when you can. And extend it out there a little far. And right here is where I was worried about some of that pith action and the splits and checks underneath the blank. Oh, look at that. That's what I was worried about sticking around. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, we still got that flat there. Here's where that piece came out of. It'll be a little bit thin, but I think we'll be able to salvage it. See that? I'm almost taking that whole wing's worth. Yep, got cocky. All right, let's set this guy up for the small jaws. I'm not really a fan of the small jaws, but these kind of deep, narrow blanks don't give me other choice but to use them because the 4-inch jaws would make them real kind of short and squatty and wouldn't have a nice taper to them. Looks like we have a little bit of the remnant right there, but we'll just let that dry out. You know what? I might even just leave this material up there just to be crazy with it. You can see how rough that was because I'm just hogging material. Just trying to learn to finesse this thing a little bit. Yeah, I seen that one coming. Ah, come on, dude. Trying to show off for camera, looking like a clown. Now I really can't see with this face shield on. That's it, I don't care about that. This is just a rough turn. All right, we got 4 of them down there. Looks like a situation where I was tired with the chainsaw, I'll tell you that. It's got some ambrosia beetle trails in it that's probably going to get turned away. Some checking, some really bad checking right here. Some cool figure there. This whole piece right here has the potential to go away because we got a pith. So that's, well, that could be a source of figure, so we'll keep it in the bottom. And like we've been doing, we got our face shield on. And we'll do these roughing cuts left-handed, so we are way out of the line of fire. In case something don't want to cooperate with us. There you go. That's it. It's kind of iffy. This guy's sticking out quite a bit. I'm gonna give that a whirl. That's just under 800. It's wanting to vibrate, so we'll take some off. Now I said this was the 4th bowl because I actually turned like 5 or 6 bowls this day. And then I'm also a little gun shy too because I'll get the video out here in a week or so. But the day before, a bowl come out of my cold jaws and popped me in the mouth. So, you know, I was kind of, had the face shield on, staying, you know, doing the left hand turning, doing everything I could to turn as safe as I could. Because that bowl popping me in the mouth was a real wake-up call. So, I mean, I guess sometimes it takes disaster to learn a lesson. I didn't get hurt. I was turning at 600 RPMs because of the cold jaws. And I'll go into depth about it later. But, you know, it woke me up and kind of was the wake-up call that I kind of needed. All right, we got it up to 950. Still pretty wonky out here. So sometimes it's just better to ease up on the cut and make it in 2 or 3 cuts instead of one big one. This would have been a candidate for that lidded bowl, man. I gotta stop. I gotta stop using the worm screw on these tall blanks. Yeah, so a couple times now I've wanted to make a lidded bowl out of a tall blank, but I use a wood worm screw, and I drill the holes, you know, a good 3/4 inch to 1 inch deep. And so that basically goes through the tenon and through the top of the lid all the way through if I was to use it as a lid. Now with how tall this thing is, I might want to go with the bigger tenon. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe we got to get this crap out of here. Yeah, see, I knew there was some pith action in here. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I don't know what to do about that one. Okay, see, so when it's piled up like this and you can't see your tool, I'm looking out here and I'm watching this. I'm seeing what this is doing up here. I'm not looking down here because I can't see nothing. All right, if we can get this, I want this out of here. But I think this will be a pretty cool bowl. Tell you what, I got a hell of a mess to clean up, man. I've got so much shavings on the floor. I probably did 8 bowls this weekend, and my whole garage is just covered. Okay, that one's gone for the most part. This one presents an interesting challenge. I mean, it's cool because it kind of makes this stuff, but then again, if we cut it off right here, we'd be short. So we might take this down a little bit, see what this does in the drying out process. See how it all plays out. See, though, with the small tenon, though, it's going to allow me to be able to, put quite a steep angle on this and actually get everything kind of cleaned out and where it needs to be. Well, that wasn't nothing pretty for a pass. Okay, it's gone. That's gone, that's gone. Yeah, it'll be cool. It left a little feature up there, not much. This one didn't leave much of a feature either. I mean, they were pretty shallow, I guess. Ooh. Oh, man. My neighbors know every catch I make. They hear it. What I'm trying to do is replay in my head what I did. That's something you don't want to repeat too often. I know that hump there is kind of ugly, but oh well. Okay, before I get too involved in all this stuff. Ah, yeah, there we go. Let's hollow some of these boys out. I think I did a couple with the 4-inch jaws. One. Just one. Okay. But while we got him up here, and then I might have a couple taller blanks. I'll put my spike drive on and see about making some lidded bowl things because I really want to try them. Okay, let's see how this position looks. I was kind of worried about it because we are actually mounted on the lathe. We might get a bit of vibration in this hollowing, but that seems like the optimal position for you guys to hang out. So let's see how she does. Something like that. Alrighty. I was talking about really wanting to do some lidded bowls because I'm almost a year in. Father's Day weekend will be a year into my turning journey. So I'm pretty comfortable with bowls now. I started with bowls. I taught myself how to do bowls, and now I want to start breaking out into doing like boxes and lidded boxes, lidded bowls, get better at spindle turning, doing all kinds of other stuff. Well, maybe if I got it down out of the way, I could still get some light in there. I had these big Harbor Freight floodlights, and they really illuminate my garage, but I was getting like gradient lines going up and down. And all the research I could find on YouTube and the internet was saying that it was due to the megahertz of the electrical cycle. And I matched it. You know, I started filming at 1080 and I was doing 30 frames per second. And I was trying to match everything up, and I was still getting those gradient lines. But with this little LED light, I don't seem to get that interference on the filming. Man, I wonder if that 60 degrees would have helped me out just that little bit. That was in reference to my Ellsworth gouge that has a 60-degree nose angle, while this gouge has a 50. Okay, that's got kind of a fake rim out there, so the actual rim's about right there. Okay. Okay. Again, I was talking about that bead that I left at the top, calling it like a fake rim, so I had to kind of judge the thickness of the bowl a little bit different. Woohoo! That was me messing with that little bead on the outside. What I was trying to do was round off all the corners to reduce cracking while drying. I got a good catch right there. All right, let's get rid of this guy before we destroy it. That's cool. All right. Okay. It's probably pretty dark without the light. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's the primary bevel, here's the secondary bevel, and here's just some of the heel removed. That should go pretty good. Let's see. So in between bowls, I went and sharpened the gouge and removed the heel
a little bit
to try and ease rounding the corner and I call it a shoulder, I don't know, the transition from the sidewalls to the bottom. And on these steep bowls, it's pretty rough, so I gave it a micro bevel or a secondary bevel and ground a bunch of the heel away. Yeah, that noise usually means I have my tool rest a little too high, and I'm glad I caught that because, you know, I think the 1 or 2 times I lost a bowl out of the jaws, out of not cold jaws, but standard dovetail jaws, was I attribute to having my tool rest too high because it was making that noise beforehand and it popped right out. So then the other reason too could be I didn't have quite the right tenon and didn't have a good shoulder, and there might be a little bit of gap in there and getting a little bit of vibration that way. So I didn't like a lot of the vibration I was getting on that thing, so I went pretty gingerly with it. And see, even with the 50-degree angle on there, I still had to get out that bottom feeder to get out the bottom, the very bottom of it. This is a pretty steep walled bowl. I've not quite figured that thing out yet. I think we're still a little bit shallow, maybe. Nope. I was trying to walk that thing up the sides a little bit too high and got real uneasy about it and went back to the bowl gouge. Got pretty close there, man. I don't know, man. That thing scares me a little bit with the wings. I haven't had a bad catch yet with it, but people talk about those wings on there, and that's why people just got away from the traditional grind in general. Oh, I let myself down. I left that key in the chuck. Bad habit, real bad habit. That's really the only thing I don't like about the G3 is that key. It's so easy to do it. When you have the little rounded off Allen keys in the Supernova, they don't stay in there. It just flops out. Now, as I'm watching this and going over this, maybe it wasn't, you know, the tenon or the tool rest, but maybe it's just the fact that these are like 4 to 5 inch thick or deep bowls, and that I've just got a lot of overhang out past the jaws. But hearing that vibration while I'm doing my voiceover, I'm almost cringing just listening to it. If I can let some of the chips out a little bit easier. I'm watching myself and I can tell that I'm not liking it. And I'm kind of poking in, taking ginger cuts, not hogging out like I do a lot of the times, because that vibration is kind of unnerving me. Little camera headbutt. Yeah, I thought I had a ways to go. Old butter knife. Yeah, it's a little wonky there. Got a nub on the bottom, but I think it'll dry all right. All right, friends, thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you on the next one. Please like, subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear from y'all. Have a good one. So, we got some maple.